What's up, guys? Alex Babin, strength coach for Thibarmy. Today I want to talk about an exercise that comes back very often in many powerlifting training templates, but I find we don't give it enough credit, or we don't teach the technique enough for powerlifting. We teach it a lot in Olympic lifting, but not necessarily for powerlifting. So today I want to go over the technique for military pressing with Francis. So the first thing we're going to go over is hand positioning. So Francis, put your hands on the bar like you would. Okay. Now, when you talk about hand positioning, what's most important is to have a proper positioning, a proper alignment between your wrist and your elbows. So get in the racked position. Don't unrack it, just get in the racked position. Beautiful. So you see here, he's close grip enough that the wrist is directly aligned with the elbow. Now, the reason for that is because you want to have a most optimal recruitment of muscle between the delts and the tricep. Now, depending if you're delt dominant or tricep dominant, which you will realize with time and experience, then your grip might change. But I like to coach it, I like to teach it this way first. So proper muscular recruitment between the delts and the triceps. So before we go to the next thing, unracking the bar, let's actually show the camera here what we should do when we get set up for military pressing. So the first thing we want to do is look at the feet. You want to have a proper foot mechanics, just as you would on the squat. Now, you want to have a wide enough stance so that you have good balance and you don't lose too much energy trying to balance yourself there. Okay, so you want to bring your toes slightly out, just as you would on the squat. Okay, you want to screw your feet out and claw the ground with your toes. There's 3 points of tension you should have on your feet. It's right here in the crook of both toes here on the bottom, the outside of your feet, and the heel. Once you got the proper mechanics here, because the ankle is connected to the tibia and the knee and the femur and the hip, then your knee will drive out and you'll create external rotation at the hip and your glute will engage. So now you got the whole leg all the way up to your glutes connected for the movement. Once that is connected and contracted, you want to inhale as much air as possible in your belly, drive your diaphragm down, create intra-abdominal pressure, and save your lower back from extending, okay? Now, once you got all that connected, you want to create an extension, a thoracic extension. So drive your chest out, but not extending the lower back. So let's turn around for the camera real quick. Okay, so create a lumbar arch for me. Okay, so that's what I don't want to see. A lot of guys and girls that lack shoulder mobility, they end up, so stay straight for a second, okay? So because they lack the shoulder mobility, what happens is they raise the bar and they can't bring their arms back. So in order to have an efficient military press, then they arch at the lower back, and it kind of looks like that. It might be a little exaggerated, but you see the point here. So what we're trying to do is save your lower back from extending whatsoever. So you want to create tension in your glutes, create core tension here, and only drive your chest out. So create extension right over here, that's it, and clear your head back, retract your head. So by doing that, you're preventing your lower back from working. You're keeping the tension on your abs and your glutes and driving your feet out. So that's your proper setup for military pressing. Okay, so now let's go and get the bar. Proper hand positioning. That's it. So when you unrack the bar, you make sure you stand up with it first, control it, then do your walkout. Screw your feet out, claw the ground nice and tight. Make sure your knees drive out, your glutes are activated, your core is activated. You don't see anything happening in your lower back. Chest out, head back, and start pressing the bar. As soon as you pass the forehead, you want to drive your head forward to clear the bar path. And then come back down, clear the bar path, and in position again. Another important thing to remember is when you start pressing up, I see a lot of people here, rack the bar for a second. So I see a lot of times what happens is when people, here, go this way so we can see from the side, we'll see a lot of people place the bar too high up on their hands, which will cock their wrists back and create a ton of pressure on their wrists and lock out the bar like this, okay? So what you want to do, a good cue I give, is place the bar a little bit lower on your palm, squeeze the bar as hard as you can, and to finish the lift, think about punching the ceiling with your knuckles, like this. So that's how a good, proper military press is done. Thank you.